Hello and welcome to my channel. Say hi to a happy day. In this channel, I would like to share tales and stories I personally picked and or my kids' favorite stories. Let's enjoy listening while I read to you the story of Pedro and his dog. High up in the Andes Mountains, where it is cold and the people wear warm woolen capes called ponchos, was a farm belonging to a little boy called Pedro and his family. They lived in the city, but once a year, Pedro and his father visited the farm. For the rest of the year, the farm and the animals were cared for by the farm workers. This year, as Pedro and his father arrived at the farm on their horses, a pack of skinny dogs came running up, barking, howling, and snapping with their fierce, sharp teeth. The farm workers called the dogs off, and they ran away snarling and growling. Just one dog was friendly and tame. He came up wagging his tail, letting Pedro stroke him. It was very cold on the farm, and the farm workers gave Pedro and his father warm ponchos to wear. So now, when Pedro or his father went climbing over the mountains, the dogs didn't come snapping after them because they thought they were farmers too. Pedro made the friendly dog his pet, and it followed him everywhere. He made a canal for it and gave it little bits and pieces from his dinner. One day, one of the farmer workers came up to him. "You're too kind to that dog. You stroke him and feed him like he was a child. But what's going to happen when you head back to the city? You can't take the dog with you, and he's going to get lonely and sad. How's a dog going to know where you've gone?" But Pedro loved the dog and wouldn't listen to the farm worker. Soon it was time to go back, and Pedro's father told him to pack up and get ready to go back to town. "Please, can I take my dog with me?" asked Pedro. "You must be joking," said his father. "We're not taking that little flea-ridden pup back to the city. It stays here." Sadly, the boy climbed onto his horse, and they trotted out of the farm gate. They hadn't gone far when Pedro heard the bark. There was the dog. He had come too. He followed them all the way to the city. Pedro felt proud that it liked him enough to do that, and there was nothing his father could do about it. When they arrived, Pedro showed the dog an old canal and put him in there. Then he rushed indoors to take a bath after the long ride. As soon as he had changed, he ran out to see the dog. But instead of running out to meet him and lick him, it held back and snarled. "What's the matter? It's me. Remember me? Don't be frightened," Pedro said. But it didn't make any difference. The dog wouldn't be friendly. The next day, when Pedro went to the canal, nothing. The dog had gone. Pedro felt so miserable. He couldn't understand it. Why had the dog done this? He rushed off to his father. "Why has my dog gone and left me?" "I think I know," said his father. "When you came home, you took off your poncho. The dog didn't know who you were. He thought you were a different boy in that fancy city shirt. I tell you what, next year you can put on your poncho. Come with me back to the farm and you'll see. You'll be able to feed him again." And sure enough, when Pedro went back this next year, there was his dog. When he saw him in that poncho, up he came wagging his tail, and the two of them were friends again. The end. I hope you enjoyed listening to the story of Pedro and his dog. Please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to listen to more of our favorite stories. See you soon!